Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Oh, I hope everybody's doing well. It's your favorite Angel VTuber. Ready to chat, ready to rock, ready to play some Final Fantasy X for probably around 3 hours. Probably gonna play around 3 hours today. I was kind of rushing here because I was working on something for this stream. I've been working on making like a nice schedule, like with my own background art and piecing together, like, I don't know, the best I can manage on free word editing software sort of thing. And I'm hoping to drop that on Sunday. But then I realized I've got to go put a bunch of links in there. I gotta get little Twitter logos. It's silly how much stuff there is to do, but it is always fun to keep improving. As for where we left off with Final Fantasy, I think we had just came into this place called the Cavern of Faith. Yojimbo tried to fleece us out of a bunch of cash in order to have him join our team. I read up on it. I don't think that we're probably going to be doing that yet because he needs a lot of cash. We need like another 20,000 gil or something. Well, let's get on over to Final Fantasy X then. Hello. Hello. Okay. Yes, so let's rock and roll. Let's clear off one of my own screens here. Final Fantasy X's not making any noise right now. Let's fix that. Bam. There you go. Okay. And that ought to be everything for us to start. So, yes. I prepared a couple of chatting topics, as I often do, for these streams. And I don't know why, but I guess this time around my idea was doing firsts and just sort of silly things about me in particular, I suppose. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the first time I had ever kissed a girl, or I guess kissed someone. And I was rambunctious. I had a lot of feelings, as most youth often do, and I had this massive crush on someone in, I must have been 8th grade. I was a little angel then. Ooh, bright-eyed. And so, like, I don't think we totally understood much about relationships or what you're supposed to do or with all these feelings you're feeling, you know? But I did know that you're supposed to kiss girls you like. So I really am starting to get annoyed by this guy. Like, I'd really rather just fight somebody that, I don't know, that is like actually fightable. So, right, I was hanging out with this girl, or I guess I really liked this girl. And my parents, Angel Pops and Angel Mom, they're very protective. I really didn't get to do very much outside of school growing up, especially as an 8th grader. Just because they were like, I think for a lot of reasons, really. But so, that meant that if I wanted to, like, do anything with this girl, I would either have to ask permission and almost certainly get told no, or I would have to find a way to make something magical happen on my own. So I took the second path because I was just convinced, you know, I wasn't going to get to do what I wanted if I tried to ask permission. So I had just gotten a cell phone, actually, which will relate to some of the other stories for today. But I had just gotten a cell phone. It was like a flip phone, even. And should I unfreeze Auron? He's probably fine. So I just got in this flip phone. She had a cell phone too. And I guess to protect her identity, we're gonna call her Xion. Okay, so Xion, gosh, I liked her for a lot of reasons. She was very, she was not like the other girls, you know? Very artistic and very funny. That was really the biggest thing. I was kind of an awkward. It was an awkward time. It's certainly not the charismatic Angel you know now. And so I I remember also she got me something for my birthday once because I was super into origami, and she got me this package of stuff that was like origami paper, a bunch of little, I mean, I don't think they were ivory, but they were definitely probably like plastic little tools that kind of looked like ivory that you would use to make really, really clean folds in origami. And it even came with this really fancy, it came with a really fancy, like, crane. And I remember thinking and insisting that she must have made that and to give to me with this birthday present. And every single time she and I talked about it, I was like, you made this, didn't you? And she always said, no, why would I? I don't have those skills. But you know, you're young and you think you're in love, so you're willing to believe anything. So she gave me that present and I wanted to ask her out. So I would like text her a lot. And I needed to find some sort of way of passing some time with her. I didn't have a car. We didn't live anywhere near each other. So I had her ask her mom to drop her off at a park near my home. I was like, we'll meet up at this park. We'll walk to a diner where I will pay with a bunch of collected coins and dollars. I will pay for us to have lunch and shakes, and then we'll go back to the park and spend some time together. And I mean, this is just the point in time that I was at, right? Like, I didn't even think about how do you plan to, like, get this girl back home? Like, how do you plan for this to happen without you being discovered? And I mean, I asked her to ask her mom to pick her up because obviously I had no way of otherwise getting her back. But of course, I don't know what I expected. I thought I'd be able to have her mom pick her up without my parents knowing, and that was the biggest mistake. That was the, like, what are you doing? Sharp, what are you doing, Finch? So we did end up going through with it, though. She showed up, we walked to the diner, we shared a very awkward milkshake. I don't understand what I expected things to be, but in my head I think this is all romantic, right? Oh wow, we're spending time outside of school together. This guy's gonna kick my butt. Like, I don't know how I normally do more damage to him, but he has not been dealt enough damage for us to survive. So we then make it back to the park, and I told her explicitly over text, I was like, I'm gonna kiss you in this park. And we were hanging out under a bench, just looking at the underside of this bench for what felt like an eternity. Because I knew what I had told myself I'd do. I'm just gonna run. Let's run. That seems like a good idea. I knew what I had told myself and told her we were gonna do, but I was just like so nervous. I was a wreck. I was like, how do you do that? I hadn't done that before, you know? But I just, at some point in there, maybe towards the end, at some point she checked her watch or her phone, and she was like, my mom's gonna pick me up soon. And I was like, okay, this is my move. And I give her the most awkward peck on the cheek, and I'm bright red as we're walking back. Oh, now we've got a cutscene. Okay, I'll finish the story real quick. So I'm bright red as we're walking back from this park where I've had my first kiss. I've kissed someone for the first time, and I'm beat red. But I'm on cloud 9, right? Because like, this is what I planned to do. This is what I wanted to do the whole time. And we're like holding hands on the walk back, and she's sort of quiet as well. And then we get to my parents' place, and this is the part that's so like, how did I think I'd pull this off? I knock on my parents' door, and this is the story I've managed to come up in the last couple of minutes as I've walked from the park to my place. I tell them, hey, I was just hanging out at the park like I told you I'd be, and I bumped into this friend of mine. Isn't that crazy? Also, their mom is about to come here and pick them up. And my parents were like, what? That doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? Why is she here? And I mean, it's just, it must not have been a very good lie. A couple of minutes later, her mom shows up and picks her up and then asks, like, what was going on here? Because it sounds like you aren't aware of this. And then the adults have a conversation, and it's obvious what the two of us have done. And then I got a real stern talking to. I think really what they were mostly concerned about was like, okay, you're small, out in the world alone, like, you probably should have adults knowing where you are at the very least. And also, like, they hadn't met this girl, so this was just like a total surprise to them. But anyway, that's how I had my first kiss, was with Shion in like the most awkward way imaginable at this random little diner. And I remember I thought I had calculated that I had enough to buy us each a shake, but it turns out that I hadn't. Like, it was just a lot of uncomfortable awkwardness. Oh gosh. And I don't even remember how that really ended. I think we just both went to different schools and life moved on, thankfully. Let's see what's going on with Yuna and her much more successful relationship with Titus.
If you desire my strength, you must pay my
Okay,
price.
yeah. So I guess we probably went through this, but let's offer 180,000. I did do a little bit of homework on this because I thought this was strange. But it's also, Yojimbo is a very particular summon in this game. For some reason, he wants you to pay money every single turn. Like, you gotta pay him a gil every time you summon him for every single turn. So I guess this sort of just sets that kind of standard of a relationship with this guy. He's a hired gun or sword, I guess, in this case.
Do we have a deal?
Okay, so he counter-offered. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go a little bit higher, but not much higher. I can't even pay more than 180,000, really. Here, I'll give you 500 more. How's that?
Do we have a deal?
Did he raise the price?
Do we have a deal?
He lowered his price again a little bit. Are we stuck in a loop? Can we leave? Because I don't have more money to give you, man.
No deal.
There we go.
Next
Okay.
time.
Yeah, I think you need maybe I could have gotten away with it by offering him more than I even have. Now, the other thing, too, though, is I actually don't know. I sort of thought that would bring me somewhere else I could go. But if we have to get Yojimbo, then the only thing we can do is sell all our crap and get up to 300,000 bucks. But yeah, Love is a little kid. I don't know. You just think there's something so special about it when you're young. And like, you're just in a rush to do it, you know? That's how I felt anyway. Oh, gosh. We would text each other a lot, too. I mean, it's one of those things that makes me think I would, at some point, like to maybe even consider having children. But if I were a parent, I hesitate to imagine giving a child the freedom of a instant communication device. I can already imagine the frustration a kid would have at that idea, like at the idea of being the one person in class or in school or the one person in the friend group that doesn't have a phone. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's just, I certainly didn't have. Well, admittedly, I didn't get into anything finally detrimental. nothing that obliterated me. I'm still here standing, but at the same time, I wouldn't say that I had the, let's say the wisdom to use that properly. It's probably pretty good that nothing came of it to me. But at the same time, would I trust my own kid? I'm not so sure. I am not so sure. I'd rather take the harumps, you know? I am, of course, assuming that that'd just be better for their, I don't know, learning and knowledge. It's just because, I don't know. All this tech stuff is so prevalent nowadays, and it's funny to hear this from somebody who's on your phone or your computer, you know, broadcasting this out onto the internet, but I think that people could probably use a little bit more discretion when it comes to the use of technology in general. It's just, it gets to a point where sometimes people seem to forget that we existed without it for a very, very long time. And it's not to say that what I'm saying is, like, I'm no Luddite. I love technology. Here I am on the internet. But, I don't know. I like to use it with discretion, that's for sure. Normally, most of the time... Okay, I hope this doesn't just kill me. Most of the time after stream, too, I'll just go on a walk. Because otherwise, it's just... I don't know. There's too much screenage. I really have started to dislike this guy quite a lot. The small Boro guy. Mostly just because of the bad breath attack. I feel like I end up wasting so much time trying to... Oh, right, of course, and he can't be... Oh, no. Maybe I'll just summon somebody. He seems to be weak to fire, which I suppose is abusable, but I just find the bad breath attack to be really annoying. It's actually... I mean, it's a clever design, but I'm not sure that there's many ways around it besides equipment that blocks poison or blocks confusion. It's interesting as a death trap, I suppose, but how often can you face it before it stops being intimidating and just starts being annoying?
Be strong.
Oh right. He still only has the basic fire level attack, but that's still doing pretty good damage. I got in trouble a couple of times over acting rashly out of love as well. In high school, too. I remember there was one time that a girl I was into and we kissed right outside of high school, right outside of the front entrance, and that was a no-go. You weren't supposed to do that. And the vice principal saw us, and he stormed out, and we kind of tried to avoid his gaze, but he was on a warpath. This guy was not going to let us go. So he was on this warpath, and he asked us both point blank, like, this intimidating adult, right? Like, we're teenagers, you know. We're not exactly large. It's like staring us down, and he goes, "Are your parents here?" I want to talk to your parents. Show them to me. Bring them to me. And, I mean, we were freshmen, so we were getting picked up by our parents pretty much. And, yeah, my mom was out in the parking lot ready to pick up her troublemaker. But here's the thing. My mom, she didn't speak the language so good, so he comes over, and he's trying to, like, I mean, actually, with her, he was pretty nice. He was quite calm. He really only seemed like he was on a warpath as soon as he came out the front door, which is the part that I was very surprised about. But once he went and talked to my parents, he tried to explain what was going on. She only had a lick of what was. She only had an inkling of what was going on, and I had to keep translating. Yeah, sure enough, I tell her what happened, and she's like, "Is that why he was so angry? Really? You kissed a girl? Okay. I would have thought it was something worse." Oh gosh, but you better believe that after going through that, you know, maybe a year or a little less than a year after this awkward 8th grade date that I had planned, it's a wonder. It's a wonder that I didn't just sort of obliterate into oblivion out of shame. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I feel sort of aimless in the game right now. I don't know if Yojimbo is a necessary get. It feels like we don't have enough cash to get him. But if not, then I'm not sure what else we can do. My other theory, I suppose, is we just leave this Cavern of Faith. We see if there's something else, like another indicator on the map, perhaps. And, yes, there is. Okay. So yeah, Yojimbo looks like he's completely bypassable, let's say. Okay. See ya. We'll grab him sometime later. He actually is a pretty powerful magic card. The price of it shot up recently. I think there's this funny correlation for trading card games in particular, where yeah, a lot of the expensive game pieces kind of come down to... I'm just kind of curious as to where this leads. A lot of the expensive game pieces come down to whether or not they're competitively viable, but there are plenty of them where it's just people looking to replicate popular decks or looking to replicate something they've seen in content around the game. So Magic the Gathering has a handful of really popular, like, YouTube and streaming channels that come up with Magic the Gathering content. And whenever those channels, like, explode in terms of a new set coming out and then some centerpiece card in those decks or in that set does really well, a bunch of people want to go buy that card just because it did well. The card for Yojimbo, I think, is fine, but there was one of these popular channels that had a game get completely taken over by the cards, so, you know, now everybody wants to go buy it and try it for themselves.
Sometimes Yuna would just stare off into the distance. I finally understood why.
It's probably the last time she'll see this place, is what she's thinking.
She was saying goodbye to the places she'd never see again.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Oh, I could have sworn I had that selected. Oh, another Ronso.
Summoner Yuna and Guardians, leave here at once.
It appears we are not welcome.
Gagazet is Ronso land, sacred mountain of Yevon. The mountain will not bear the footsteps of infidels. Enemy of Yevon is enemy of Ronso. Leave, traitors!
I have cast aside Yevon.
Whoa.
I follow the temple no more.
I didn't think that was
Die
explicit in
by
that way.
those words.
So be it. Yevon has warped the teachings and betrayed us all.
Nothing but a bunch of low-down tricksters, eh?
Yeah, yeah!
We have no regrets.
Riku and Titus in particular could be siblings.
Blasphemers. A summoner and her guardians.
Lord Kelgranso, if I may. Have you not also turned your back on Bavel?
But still, you guard Gagazet as a Ronso, not a Maester. Yuna is much the same.
Elder Kelk! Let Biran rend them asunder!
Oh.
No escape, not one.
I'm gonna
No,
play with
we
y'all's
will not
audio a
flee.
little bit for the game.
We will fight and continue on.
You have been branded a traitor, but still you would fight sin. Lost
Super
to the
fair.
temple, hated by the people, yet you continue your pilgrimage? Everything lost. What do you fight for?
I fight for Spira.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The people long for the calm. I can give it to them. It's all I can give. Defeating sin, ending pain. This I can do.
Even sacrificing yourself.
Is this voice actor? Corey Burton?
Ronso, let them pass. Summoner Yuna, your will is stronger than steel.
Handsome the Wise.
Tempered steel that even
That's
the
who voices this
mightiest
little Ronso.
could not hope to bend. Yuna, we bow to your will.
That's awesome.
Now go.
Game recognized game,
The
basically.
sacred heights of Gagazet welcome you.
We thank you.
Ah, my neck's hurting.
Xanarkin's on the other side, huh?
Yeah? You're home, yeah?
As if you believed me.
Maybe I do. The one on the other side here is probably just a pile of rubble, yeah? But somewhere out there is your Xanarkin. Somewhere, yeah? Yeah, you'll be home soon enough.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, cheer up. Let's do this.
That's sweet.
Better get ready. Ain't no shops where we're going.
Oh, for real? Okay, I guess that makes sense.
You think of anything yet?
Oh,
There's just so little time. I don't know. This is a toughie.
Better get ready. Ain't no shops where we're going.
I think this is among the better aspects of the game. It's just getting to get to a story moment and then chat with every single person in the team and get their take on things. It's nice. I think it breaks up the pace of the game quite a lot, but it's also totally optional. Like, if you're just not that kind of gamer, you can blow on by and get to the rest of the game if you want.
It is as I thought.
What is?
Yevon is in turmoil. Micah tries to keep it whole, but it crumbles around him.
Look, I couldn't care less what happens to Yevon.
Because you are not of this world.
Yeah.
To those who truly believe in the teachings, a time of much pain is coming.
Turmoil.
10 years ago, I looked up at Gagazet from where we stand now.
My old man say anything?
I do not remember. All I could think of was how I might keep Braska alive. Your duties as Guardian will soon end.
it doesn't feel like we're close to the end of the game, which is odd. And I also know that apparently very soon the game is going to open up to us, and we're going to be able to go wherever we want.
Grown stronger.
Stronger, huh? I'd say it's more like she's driven. Don't you think?
That's why she's strong. She's still pressing forward. When weak people are driven, they can't go far before they break. She keeps going forward because she is strong. Yuna has... and I... all I can do is try and keep up with her. Let's get ready for the climb.
I want to talk to Yuna last.
Biran and Yenke gone.
I wonder what they're up to. It's probably nothing.
That sounds like foreshadowing.
Hero of Ronso. Yenke is powerful warrior.
Great. I hope we don't have to fight them.
Kimahri must fight. Kimahri must win.
Yeah, we're gonna end up fighting those folks. We do some sphere gridding while we're at it too. Yeah, I even think about the sphere grid and it feels like we've explored very, very little of it. Let's give her a black magic sphere. Oh. No, oh. I didn't mean to do that. I was thinking of waiting until Lulu gets the 3rd tier of magic and then using it. But, whoops. So, where to with Riku now? I guess we can bring her all the way back up here. We kind of have to. Because there's this level 3 lock here. We're nowhere near enough. But I guess she's only at level 3, like... It's not a big whoop. We hold on to it for now. I think I'll hold on to the rest, too. And then let's save and chat with Yuna. Or maybe one of these Ronso and then with Yuna. Oh, you're not voiced.
It's just a little farther now. It's just...
Wow.
Summoner Yuna's words, they ring clear in my soul. Small voice, small frame, but a will that towers over Gagazet's peak.
Impressive. I always wanted to climb a mountain. Yeah, we knew these troublemakers were going to show up. It's not very many mountains where I'm from. And every single time I see one, I'm like, wow. I wish I had one of those around me all the time.
Kimahri not pass.
Oh, interesting.
Kimahri shame Ronso brothers. Kimahri forget his birth.
Forget his people, forget his mountain, little Ronso, weakling Ronso.
Mountain hate the weak, hate the small. If you will climb,
Then I must prove my strength.
think you will win? You not forget who took your horn. Never forget.
Kimahri never beat Brother Biran, never win. This time, I win. I will win.
Why, you... Ugh. This some kind of Ronso thing?
Kimahri problem.
Whoa.
Biran rend you asunder.
I hope Kimahri's not too...
Hornless.
I hope he's not too low level for this, because I don't really use him that much. Oh, that barely did any damage. Oh, jeez. Oh, Lancet did some more, and now I've got the thrust kick thing. This is such a cool setting for a fight, too. I think I'm probably just supposed to keep using Lancet on them. I didn't get Bulldoze there, though. Maybe change the target? Self-destruct. That doesn't seem like a great one to use. Let's see about Thrust Kick again. He's almost out of here. Do I want to use a healing? Yeah, probably for the best. I don't want to have to restart this.
Weak Ronso should know their place.
Is that because I used a healing potion? White Wind. Oh, well, I'd like to learn that, whatever that is. Oh, sweet. Perfect. I'll take that. Thank you very much. And then... So, since they're both together and I want to hit the other one, maybe I do it like this? Oh, okay. Perhaps because it is the overdrive, they can't protect each other. It's interesting, they don't really seem to have very much different personality between the two of them. Quite an intense theme for this, too. Let's do here, maybe? Another Lancet. Doom. Okay. That seems like a pretty good one to use. But also, like, that's so many turns. I think I'd rather just use the kick again. See if we can't get this guy out of here. One more. I gotta think that they expected me to have Kimahri stronger than he is right now. He's not doing much, not doing many numbers. Okay, maybe Lancet the other guy. See if I can get another skill. I might need another healing potion. Yeah. I'm out of... Oh, wow. I'm out of high potions. I know my attack doesn't do almost anything. Maybe I just have to keep poking at it with the Lancet. We'll be here for a while. The other thing one of the other things I wanted to talk about was how much I seem to have a penchant for destroying technology around me. And I think generally you wouldn't really guess it just by knowing me, because I'm not like a klutz. At the very least, I'm not enough of a klutz for my immediate friend group to label me so. But my first phone, that very same one that I used to organize that silly little trip with that gal, I totally waterlogged it because I was at a water park and my swim trunks had pockets in them, and I remember thinking that day, like, oh my gosh, these swim trunks, I'd never had ones with pockets in them before, so I thought, how neat, how special. I could keep my phone in there. Isn't that convenient? And it's a good day, lots of fun to be had, and the highlight of my day at that theme park is always the wave pool. So I went to the wave pool, I enjoyed myself, and when I came back out, shock and surprise, my phone's in there. And no, of course it didn't work anymore from then on. But that would not be the first, well, I guess it was probably the first time that I'd ruined a piece of technology quite so completely, but it wouldn't be the last, not by a long shot. I had this, I guess this is like a crazy fast forward compared to that phone, but I had a phone like last year. I was dutifully going to the gym regularly, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and gyms nowadays, they have like the equipment with, especially for cardio, they have equipment that's got like a little ledge for your phone, and I was using that to keep my phone there, change songs, and I guess I just started going a little too hard on the elliptical, and sure enough, the phone falls and lands perfectly in between the mechanisms of the left leg of the elliptical, and it just obliterates the whole the chassis, and it shatters the glass. I mean, it's irrecoverable. But incredibly, it was staying on. It didn't leak anything, and I was still listening to my music as I was trying to recover its broken corpse from the gym equipment. Oh my gosh, that was a really funny one. I just didn't. I had never seen a phone so completely obliterated. Harley Quinn, thank you for the follow. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I was just talking about my penchant for destroying technology and how I destroyed my last phone in a piece of gym equipment. And that's not all either. I remember once I was I was a lot younger then. Around the same time that I waterlogged a flip phone, I was at a sleepover with a friend of mine, and we were passing a soccer ball inside of this warehouse that we were hanging out in. And I kicked the ball high enough that it absolutely obliterated a light fixture, and I mean, like, the glass shattered. I remember like thinking the sight was just cinematic. This long glass tube falling from the ceiling, shattering and leaving this like visible dust cloud in the dim light of the room. And we were so young. We had no idea what to do. We were like, we can clean this up, we can get a broom, but like, how do you replace a light bulb like that? Ow. I probably should have healed. Okay, I might actually go grind with our Ronso friend for a while before we try to face this again. How are you though, Harley Quinn? Having a good one? Yeah, let's go here. Okay. So let's level Kimari a couple times to start. Although he's also near the edge here. We kind of need another... We need another level 3 key. But if we level him up even twice, we can bag all of these spheres, which is going to be pretty good. Yeah, that was one that I felt so guilty because I was at a sleepover at somebody else's place, so I didn't know what to do. But, like, you're a little kid, you don't have the capacity to solve that kind of a problem. You just gotta tell an adult and then apologize profusely. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, and it seems to happen with regularity. Maybe once every 4 or 5 years that I destroy something. I'm not careless. I just think it. Let's swap. Oh, Kimahri's in the front. Okay. Yeah, I'm not careless. I guess sometimes I am. That's probably the ticket to it. And I mean, I don't know. That's one of those things that makes me think, like, maybe I should consider living a simpler lifestyle that doesn't require expensive glass technology that can just be destroyed at any time. Maybe Titus just to haste Lulu. Because every time that you destroy something like that, you're just thinking instantly about how much that's going to cost. Oh, and you know, come to think of it too, my little brother and I were both together, like, not so good at taking care of technology either. Our PS2 kind of died randomly one day, and we didn't really, like, take it into a shop. We didn't open it up and try to figure out what was going on. But it was also like a kind of thing where, like, we had already moved on to the next console by that point. Like, we were already kind of obsessed with the Wii, and we didn't think, oh, well, one day we'll want to come back and play it. We're like, no, it's old hat. We're not going to do it. And I really regret that because, well, now I really like retro gaming. Here we are playing a game that's like 24 years old. Now, of course, I think preservation has gotten better about games in general, so you can come and find this stuff pretty easily, but nonetheless, it would be nice to have a functional PS2 right now. Our PS3 went much the same way. I think there's something about the Wii that, at least when my little brother and I were playing video games together, it never really disappeared. We never stopped playing it, so he still has it right now, and it's still in good condition. I've got a PS4 that's also in pretty good condition, although it's absolutely loaded with games that I've never once played, because he was playing it a lot while I was busy with Angel School. Oh, we did the same thing to the DS as well. The DS is, I guess our DSs are now pretty much kaput. At the same time, though, these things weren't always meant to last for forever either. And then things come along, you find new things to fill your life with. Our Game Boy, or I should say my Game Boy, it was like it had like a Pikachu face on it. I remember thinking that was so neat and so special. But that guy's still fully functional. In fact, I think the Game Boy has probably among my favorite game library, period. Which is why we're going to be playing Mega Man Battle Network tomorrow. That's going to be fun. I was so surprised and so happy to see that they would come up with a collection for those games. I didn't think that Battle Network would be, like, big enough for it, but sure enough, they dropped it a while back. Hello, Wormy. I like the nickname Flyboy. That's fun. It gives it reminds me of, like, Han Solo or something. Somebody far cooler. I was just chatting about taking care of technology and how I seem to have a pretty bad habit of letting my technology kind of get destroyed. My first flip phone that was a casualty to a wave pool. You already know about the smartphone I destroyed in a piece of gym equipment. I've destroyed a light fixture before. Like a fluorescent light fixture. Oh gosh. Yes, I was also bragging about the god tier Pikachu Game Boy Advanced. I still have it somewhere. All scratched up, but very well loved. It was a cool one. It was a very, very cool one. And I remember there was at some point, I think maybe the PS4 had just come out and we were looking to buy new games for it. So I thought about selling it, but the GameStop was like, we'll give you $20. I was like, you can take your $20 and put them anywhere else. You can fucking shove your $20 down your throat. That's got Pikachu on it, okay? And he's my best friend. And he might be worth $60 for the new Uncharted, but he's not worth $20. I remember too the way I got Skyrim like super late because my parents like I don't know, I had very protective parents, and so trying to get them to agree to let me do anything was kind of a hassle. So when I found out Skyrim was like rated M, I was like, I'm not gonna bother to try to pitch this to them. It's not worth it to me. But I was at some point at the mall with some friends, and one of us, the eldest, had just turned 18. So I gave her like $13, maybe $20, because you gotta imagine it was like only a handful of years after Skyrim had released. Not that many. Not the decades it's been since. And she bought it for me. Why'd I do High Potion? She's got Cura. Oh well. Oh, if I could learn Bad Breath from this guy, it would be over for... Yup, okay, that's awesome. It's kind of over for everybody now. But yeah, I just have a penchant for not taking care of my technology very well. Or at least I did when I was growing up. Something about just like, oh, I'm on to the new thing. I've already got something new, so I'm not gonna... It's like you have a certain amount of, I don't know, attention you can spend. I got Skyrim for $20 in 2023. Honestly, well, so I did get it used for $20 in like 2013. But something about... Why did that do so much damage? Oh, that was the poison she was just dealt. Yeah, we might just die here if one of us doesn't get hit by a physical attack. Is Yuna snapped out of it now? Nope, she's still confused. This guy's the worst. He confuses you, which makes it so... Like, now I'm almost certainly just dead here. When you're confused and silenced, you're... Are you winning? Not really. We came to a boss fight where Kamari has to be like the main guy. He's fighting a bunch of other Ronso, and he... Like, I was close, but I'd rather it be decisive. And then I got distracted to telling a story, so I made a critical error. Yeah, rip. So I'm trying to grind to get Kamari a couple more sphere grid levels before we head back over there. But Marlboro, Rip will remember you. You can put it right next to my regular gravestone. My second gravestone. Let's do this. Yeah, that Marlboro guy has an attack called Bad Breath, which I think there you mentioned, you probably heard me talking about how powerful it would be to take. It sets poison on your whole team, and poison does like a sixth of their life total, maybe a fifth. It confuses them, which means you can't control them, and they just attack randomly. And then it silences them too. What the hell is happening? When they're silenced, they can't use any magical abilities. So it is a real humdinger of an opponent. The tricky thing too is that Kimahri, most of the characters in this game have like a particular, it's almost like a favored enemy type, but Kimahri does not. Instead, his strength kind of comes from being able to learn abilities that your opponents have. But that ends up meaning that he's kind of a generalist, but he's not specialized enough, and I think the game kind of encourages you to just swap to your specialists whenever you're met with a particular enemy. So, I gotta Google this new man. Kimahri, you mean? He's new to us, or maybe new to you, but this team's been pretty solid for a while now. I don't know who he's voiced by, though, if that's what you're looking for. Heal somebody, healer. Catboy. Yeah, that's Kimahri. He's a Ronso. But, so they're like cats mixed with unicorns, because they have a single horn on the top of their head. And it's very important in their culture, apparently. They're a very proud and stoic people. Oh. Wait, Kimahri is also John DiMaggio? Or do you mean Wakka? Is it also, really? He's doing a stellar job. Like, for every ounce of criticism I've kind of slyly thrown at Wakka, Kimahri's like way, way, way unbelievably good by comparison. I don't know what to do. Watch out for poison. Get him. John DiMaggio is getting paid. I think that's true in pretty much everything John DiMaggio is in. That dude's everywhere.
Farewell.
But yeah, I regret especially not taking care of the DS. I feel like there was a ton of games on there that were just awesome. That I are like, how do you play that anywhere else? Like Pokemon Ranger? Sure, you could emulate it, but what the hell are you doing emulating Pokemon Ranger for? I miss Pokemon Ranger. I kind of hope they bring it back, but at the same time I understand that the core mechanic of like the... what you call it? You know, the stylus thing on your bottom screen. Like, that doesn't really translate very well. So, how do you even make that happen on the Switch, for example? I guess you just come up with some new mechanic to catch Pokemon, but that was kind of the main appeal. It's like, see, okay, these enemies, right? The center one, it's a robot, which means if you steal from the robot, which only Riku can do, it instantly dies. The guy on the right, he's a flyer. And flyers can only get hit by... well, anybody can hit a flyer, but Wakka is the best at hitting him. I guess this poison guy's kind of a generalist, but Kimahri's so weak. Let's swap to Wakka. Flatten this little flying creep. Get him. And then we'll bring back the Catboy. Always surprised how little they use the Switch touchscreen. Yeah, I think that both Nintendo and their developers, their third-party developers, are just fully how to say it? I think that they're trying to make their their games with you, expecting you to be playing it from the couch. And so all of these other neat features that are present in the you know, the package that is the Switch and the Switch 2, they just like, is anybody realistically going to use the mouse feature, you know? Like, I get the sense you could probably do that for like Civ or whatever, but even then it's going to be like a barely better layout than just using your sticks. It's just it's disappointing, that's for sure. Touchscreen is lame compared to the stylus. It makes me feel like an iPad baby. Yeah, I can get that. I remember there was a legitimate time in my life where some amount of my gaming was coming from an iPad. Because the iPad had all of the terrible knockoffs of actual interesting action-adventure games. Like, I played this game, you should look it up. It's called Nova. Nova. It was by Game Loft or Game Soft or something, and it is just a series that is harping on Halo. It's just knockoff Halo on your iPad and iPhone, and they still charged you like $5 or $6 for a game, but and I mean you're not really getting any real story. Like you're just getting watered down version of the gameplay. But I had quite a lot of fun with it. Making an argument for Wii U gamepad supremacy. You know, I never really got to play with one of those. It did seem like they had a good idea, but there was probably some barriers there to actually making it a great one. It feels like my whole team is fragile right now, and I don't know what the deal is. What did you play, like, what games did you play on the Wii U? There weren't that many, right? It was like Splatoon, and then the Lego one everybody liked. I need to find a shop. I need to find a shop so I can buy a bunch of high potions. Look at these guys. My homie, the Morbius Strips. Twilight Princess. Had a bougie friend in middle school to have one. Ah, okay, okay. I bet that thing could run better on a Wii U than on the GameCube, at least. And then you'd probably be able to, like, section off parts of the game to be on the gamepad as well. Because there's, like, some amount of, like, arrow shooting in that game, right? I've never actually played Twilight Princess. I'm pretty sure Breath of the Wild was actually my first full playthrough of a Legend of Zelda game. Though I've actually gotten a significant amount through the original Legend of Zelda too. Bahamut. Crush them. Show them your power. Though admittedly for me, I actually want to play more of like the classic SNES Legends of Zelda games. Legend of Zelda games. Their main fault with the Wii U was the overuse of the gamepad. Like almost every game required you to have it, you couldn't just say, I'm going to use a normal controller. Yeah, I feel like that's almost what they're trying to avoid, but ironically, they're kind of pulling in exactly too far of a direction with the Switch. So now nobody's using anything on the Switch. It feels like accessibility is kind of the name of the game right now. Just let me play all the weird ways I want to play. Don't make it too centralized. Nintendo loves to be strange and polarized. That's so true. Leave it to them to be the first people to fire the shot across the $80 mark. I gotta actually use Kamari. Even though it feels like the best strategic move at any given point is to swap out Kamari. Maybe I'll swap out you.
So, how shall we do this?
Oh, there's something coming to the Switch that made me sort of interested in getting one. But I don't remember what it was. And it's maybe the most generic way to describe it. I'd seen it a handful of days ago. Was it like Prince of Persia, maybe? Or DLC for something? It feels like playing Prince of Persia on stream will be inevitable as well. Blades. This thing looks like an evil Pokemon, kind of like an evil Absol. Oh, he's gonna die from the poison if I don't antidote him. I like him. Oh, the Epage. I wonder what the hell he's supposed to be exactly. Stop. I need that guy alive. Or he's not going to get any experience points. Yeah, when does Prince of Persia fall off ledge? As it turns out, any of the Prince of Persias can be Prince of Persia fall off ledge. But I guess we got an update from Ubisoft. Ubisoft? We got an update from Ubisoft that they're releasing that the remake in 2026 for sure. This time for sure. Epage appear to be unique to this game. I've never heard of them. Like there is no hit results for them elsewhere. Yeah, I wish I remembered what. I should have written it down. But as for our playthrough of Prince of Persia Fall Off Ledge, I don't know. I think that we've got enough games in the docket right now. Although it would be nice to get... It would be nice to get... Let's move a shop this way. I don't know. 2 of these motherfuckers? It would be nice to get a real action game in the mix. Because right now it's just been strategy RPGs. And some Kingdom Hearts. Did he say pitiful? There we go. He's studied the blade so much that now he can obliterate you with earthquakes. I think pretty much if you study anything long enough, you get to that point. I just haven't studied anything long enough. The 8th time I'm saying for sure. No, yeah, it's totally legit this time, guys. Okay. Yeah, you'd think that for a game company that's making a franchise where time is sort of the central element, they'd appreciate timeliness more, but well, I guess we just can't have all the things we want. I wonder if the AI targets you based on the amount of remaining health you have, because yeah, it seems like they over-target Kamari, despite him having probably more defense than Lulu. Ow. Gosh, this is getting annoying. Bring back the furry. You know, I'm actually quite surprised. I'd never heard of Kamari before this game. like at all. I sort of figured somebody would be thirsting after him, but no, not at all. Kill it. Thank you, Auron. Somebody's taking this seriously. Stone Breath? Seems good. Nice. Whoa. This dude has to have an enduring thirst-based fandom. Maybe. I guess I haven't poked around in it, but it hasn't been so enduring that it's just like crossed my path without me trying to find it. Dang it, man. I thought she would sell us something. Whoa. I mean, neat, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with a rusty sword. I'm out of touch with the Bara furries in 2025. What does that mean? A Bara? Bara furry? Bara furry. What the hell? Bara means butch. Oh, in like Japanese stuff. But it features anthropomorphic animal characters. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely what this is. Oh, there's VTubers that are like this. Jojo is a Bara? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. His little head, his huge, giant, muscular, like, Renaissance statue-ass body. Heal him that he may not die. Swap you with Riku. Steal their soul, Riku. Freakishly so. He toned it down as that anime went on. You know, they recently opened a store for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure somewhere in Japan. They just stay winning over there. Is Riku versus Riku confusing for you? Though I think you mentioned she's in Kingdom Hearts. It was confusing when I was young and I first played Kingdom Hearts 2, and they introduced this little fairy to you as Riku. Because you go, that's not Riku. What are you talking about? You do notice the extra K in the subtitles, and then she doesn't ever come back up, so you just go, well, whatever. I guess I don't know who that was. But in this game, it's not especially confusing because Kingdom Hearts Riku isn't here. Steal the other guy's soul too. Good job, Riku. Riku Terra Strong. Someone's attempting to contact me. Who dares? Okay. I don't know, just keep using Lancet, I guess. He's just doing piddly. Like, even if he did 10 times that amount of damage, it still wouldn't be that much. Titus, I guess. Swap you with Waka. Just hit him, boys. Yeah, there's something sort of xenomorph about this thing to me. Like, you cannot hug this guy. Getting an angelic missive, a vision from on high. Oh. About Riku and Riku? Or like modding Kingdom Hearts Riku into this game? Oh, my phone call. Yes. Oh, okay, I like that idea, yes. Someone from upstairs is trying to contact me. Oh, you ever watch Subspace Emissary, like the Super Smash Bros. Brawl story mode? Because there's like this pit, and he's up there in the clouds, and he's like observing all of the worlds below. in like a big, like, hole he's got in his cloud or something. I remember that vividly. We put it down. You've only watched the snake scenes. Yeah, no, it's pretty neat. I think Pit is a fun character, but I mean, I might be biased. A teensy-weensy little bit. Look at that. More HP. That's good. A little bit more strength. Some more strength. Even more strength. But we don't have a level 3 key. Like, what else can I do besides send him back this way? And I can't send him very far. I guess the other thing I could do... No, don't do that. Okay, could just give him more HP. Let's keep doing that. Nice. We'll just feed him all the fancy little spheres that are difficult to find, because it's his time to shine. There you go. It's like a really complicated game of Monopoly. Let's give Riku some levels too. Oh, interesting. I didn't stop to think about how this changes the map map layout for everyone. So now she can use this too. That's quite convenient, actually. And then I suppose I will send her out this way. There she goes. Oh, how dare you. You enter my chat and advertise garbage. Be gone from me. My blade is not a kind one, for I do not need to draw it very often. So just keep making Titus better too. Sure. And Waka. ASMR party management. You could theoretically spend, I don't know, your whole life, I suppose, and get a single character to go all the way around the board. Which I do like. I think if I had played this game as an a younger Angel with fewer game options, I could imagine a version of myself just spending infinite time to make Titus or Yuna really, really powerful. That'd take forever. I don't have that kind of time now. Demi. Defense. And agility. Soon, my sweet, we will be able to grab the Thundaza, or Thundaga, or whatever. Okay, that's all the sphere grid stuff. We're not gonna be able to get more high potions. We're just out in the middle of nowhere, I guess.
The only way to go is forward.
These guys are so annoying. I think I'm just gonna summon Bahamut again. Dragon, tear these aliens limb from limb for me. They no longer interest me. Yeah, I think that's all the tech stories I had prepared. But I did have one other story prepared, and that was about my first real job. I had already had a handful of jobs here and there. My first, I guess my first not real job was as a referee and an umpire for like the Parks and Recreation department at like my local town. So I grew up playing soccer and baseball there, and then once I was too old to play in any of those, we would still go because my little brother was in them. And my dad basically coerced me into helping the ump, and she was like, she basically lined us up to make it a real job for us, which was a surprise. And it took up a lot of my Saturdays and Sunday mornings in the fall and in the summer in like early high school. It was a lot of fun. It was one of those things that I think kind of helped me be the outgoing person I am now, because you have to deal with a bunch of like caffeinated Karens and unfulfilled dads, you know what I mean? Like people that are using their children to, I mean, there's, okay, admittedly, for every unfulfilled parent that is screaming on a Saturday morning at 9 a.m. about their 5-year-old missing a shot, or the 13-year-old ref's call, there is 10 to 15 normal parents that are just there to have their kid kind of practice learning new skills and meeting people and, you know, making them a normal, well-adjusted person, ideally. So they're the minority. They're the vast minority, but they're still there. Anyway, so that was like my first gig, I guess, but it wasn't like a real job. I did also like work as a cashier for a while. That was pretty nice because I was about to go to Angel School, and I would brag all the time. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to go to Angel School. Let me tell you about it. And everybody was very supportive and very kind and wanted to hear me talk about it. It's one of those things where like, I think happiness can be very infectious. And I was a very happy kid at the time. I worked with my pops in the summers as well, on and off. He did like factory work, like really gnarly factory work. So, and I also didn't have a car at the time, so I'd have to like go really early. And he was a manager, so he would go in early and leave late. So I'd be getting up at like 5 to get there at like 6 a.m. I didn't even get to select the music, you know, like I remember that being a real annoyance for me. And then I'd be there until like 3 or 4 p.m. Everybody's like clocking out at 3, and I have to like wait until like an hour and a half later because he's doing paperwork and I can't drive home. And oh gosh, it was I remember I would come home just absolutely covered in crap and soot and sweat. I mean, those were like the best showers of my life, let me tell you. But like the drain was literally running black when I was done. And I'd be exhausted. But all of these things I would not count as my first real job. Instead, I think you've probably heard this story, Wormy, because it is an infamous story between Pyro and I. But I was, I'm talking over this, by the way, because we've already seen this, this cutscene. Otherwise, I would just let it play out. But they're doing like, they're kind of trying to, they're sort of doing like a dick measuring contest right now. And I lost last time, so I gotta win this time. But anyway, I was at a, let's just up my luck to start. I was at a career fair looking for my next gig in the middle of Angel College. This was probably the semester before I met you, Wormy, I think? You were at a different college, of course, I guess, because you were doing worm studies, I was doing angel stuff. But there's not to complicate the lore, but... so I was at this career fair, looking for an internship, anything to do over the summer, and I feel like, as usual, it had kind of been a bust overall. And I bump into Pyro. He's been talking to people for hours, and he's ready to leave, and I'm also ready to leave. But I still have a handful of resumes I had printed out, and I was like, I don't know, like, maybe it'll be worth, like, giving these out. And I had eyeballed this company that was, like, stuck in between two really big companies, and so the company on the left and on the right, like, they had this massive, several hour long line, and this center one had nobody. Like, they were just twiddling their thumbs. And I sort of felt bad for them in a weird way. And Pyro, he sees their little display table, and on their display table they have all manner of merchandise, the goodies with their logo and stuff, like hand sanitizer and lotion and sticky notes. But the apple of Pyro's eye was a set of miniature USB mice with retractable cables and like a portable battery, a portable USB battery. So he was very interested in those, and he was like, you know what, I'm tired, I've been here for forever, I'm just gonna go over there, I'm gonna grab one, I'm gonna say hello, and then I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna talk to them, I'm not gonna give them my resume, I'm not interested in them. And I was like, fair. And those are nice looking little, that is a nice looking little USB mouse. But I couldn't bring myself to do that. I was like, that seems unfair. Those people have been waiting there for hours and nobody wants to talk to them. That's not nice. Like, the least you could do is just strike up a conversation. He's like, forget that. No. He goes over, he grabs this portable mouse and the little battery thing, and he leaves, and I'm like mouth agape. Like, my mouth is on the floor watching from afar the full 3-minute exchange as he walks up, takes it, and then leaves. And he passes by me and gives me a thumbs up, and I'm just like, I can't believe you, Pyro. Have you no soul? And so I sit by the side. I'm like, okay, I do want that charger. It looks nice. I want that battery or whatever it is. But I'm not willing to do what Pyro just did, so I spend like 5 minutes researching them and what they do. Enough that I could strike up a small conversation. And then I talk to them about... I go up there and I talk to them. Dragons are creatures of infinite greed. Yeah, exactly. I think that's when I realized that Pyro and I might have some differences. So I go to the side. I spend enough time reading. Honestly, enough time reading just so that I could kind of bullshit my way through a conversation with them, to be fair. I just found out what they make, you know, enough to talk about what they make, and I chat them up. I think I start the conversation by more than anything talking about the situation they're in. Like, I ask them, like, how's it been today? Have people come by much? Like, it kind of stinks that you're stuck in between these two really big companies and y'all are alone right now. And then we started talking about my education and how I might fit in with them. And lo and behold, that became my next internship, and then my first real job too. And that was it was just one of those things where it's like I couldn't believe that that's how things ended up. And I remember telling Pyro that afternoon, like, dude, I didn't do what you did, like, that's crazy. but they really liked me. Who knows? And then it became, well, now they want to interview me. Who knows? And then, before you know it, I was interning with them. Life's just funny that way, I guess, sometimes. And the funniest thing, too, is that, like, now Pyro flips on his head, right? Because to me, that story is about, like... That story is about how life is funny. Sometimes things come to you when you least expect it, but also sometimes things come to you because you've decided to be nice and kind in a situation where... And outgoing. In a situation where you could have been more closed off. And, nowadays, Pyro tries to take credit for it. He's like, you know, I helped you get your first job. And it's like, yeah, you helped me in the same way that, like, if a road closure kind of forces me to go around something and I find a new restaurant, that road closure helped me find a new restaurant. But you know Pyro, he's like that. Braggadocious. Brutal. I'm glad that it happened the way it did, but I'm not going to sit back and accept that that was like his doing or something. I think it was an interaction that would have only happened between the both of us, you know? Because we're just different folks. You can see why I would make a mistake, right? Like this. And now he's going to heal himself. Yeah, last time I was able to, like, get a Lancet to learn a kick or something sooner. Maybe, I probably did it on Baran. Yeah, there it is. Oh, it's classic Pyro. Yeah, yep. So what happens if I Stone Breath? Like, do they just actually... They might be immune to it. There we go. Now we're ripping through it. And that's not the end of it either. When I applied, they did have a GPA limit. And I was not always the best and most studious angel. So my GPA was not incredible. In fact, it was below their limit. But... true to my nature, I am quite an opportunist, I think. So I thought, you know, let's let them enforce their own rules. And I just won't put it on my resume. I'm not proud of it. It's not worth bragging about, so why would I put it on the resume anyway? I get through the internship just fine. Nobody ever mentions it. Nobody ever asks. And then when I go to, like, become full-time, I get called by a person from AR, I guess. Angel Resources, you know. And this person asks me in this call, so what was your final GPA? And I go, well, it's this. She goes, that's too low. You weren't supposed to work with us with that GPA. And then I'm just silent. I'm having this phone call in my car in like a parking lot of a grocery store. I had just gotten lunch from a fast food restaurant, and I have the fast food in my lap as I'm answering this call. And I'm just like hanging on to the longest silence I've ever heard that year, at least. And then she pipes up and goes, I'm just gonna put 3.0 here, and it's not gonna be a problem. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And again, nobody ever brought it up after that. But I'm very thankful to her. And it was one of those things too where like weeks after I went full time, she had left. She went on to do a different thing. Maybe she had retired actually. And it was one of those things where at first I thought, she's covering for me, but am I gonna like worry about this getting out one day? Like, is this gonna be a problem for me at some point? And then she left within weeks, and I was like, I guess this goes to the grave. To the grave and to Twitch chat, of course. The other insane thing, in that same discussion, maybe emotional music for relatively boring buff furry man fight. Yeah, you know, I think this is meant to be like a crux of his whole story is about how he's like been rejected by his people, and these guys were like the bullies that pushed him out. But my Kimahri just can't do that much damage, so. Oh, you know, actually maybe I can do more damage now that they can't block for each other. I didn't try that last time. Yeah, this is way better. 600 damage? What we were doing before was peanuts compared to this. Although we gotta be careful. If he does another, like, 1,000. Oof. And in that same conversation, though, that Angel Resources person, she asked me how much I'd like to make. And I was like, this number. Which was, as I recall, something like, oh geez, like probably 13 to 14% more than you would expect somebody to make with that level of experience. And in the call she goes, that's kind of a lot, don't you think? And I was like, well, it is the number that it is. You tell me if you could do that. And then minutes later, she asked me the GPA question. Oh, gosh. It was one of those things where I was like, oh, am I biting off more than I can chew? Am I pushing my luck here? But I'll never forget the sort of immense satisfaction I felt, like years down the line, on one of my first trips with my boss. The whole car full of people were talking about how much everybody gets paid. And I mean, we weren't using numbers, but he's sitting in the front row, and he turns back and he points and looks at me and he goes, I don't want to hear you weighing in on this conversation because we had to pay you a lot. That was one of those moments where I was like, oh, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now. I got one in on over you and the whole company.
Is happy.
Now get over it, Kimahri, and please continue to be a bench warmer for my team.
Gagazet. I honor the name of strong warrior who defeats Biran. Remember always, Gagazet, that name is Kimahri.
Mountain knows Kimahri strong. Kimahri may pass.
Summoner, we Ronso will stop pursuers from Temple.
Oh,
Truly?
that's nice of them.
For breaking Kimahri's horn long ago.
We crush enemies following behind.
This is the most Final Fantasy chunk of this game you've seen so far? What makes it Final Fantasy to you?
Most fortunate summoner.
I thank you.
Is it because of the dramatic music, do you think?
Will shine your statue brightest.
Thank you. But I fear that no one will make a statue for a traitor such as I am.
Oh, you're not a traitor.
Ronso will make.
With grand horn on head.
That would be wonderful.
Overly dense, dramatic, kind of ridiculous JRPG fantasy shit going on. Yeah, that's pretty fair. Overly dense and dramatic is really capturing it.
I wanted to see Yuna's statue too, but I wanted to see it with Yuna by my side.
Sometimes he delivers those voice lines so quickly, and I just don't get why they, like, did they tell him you have this exact amount of seconds? Yuna by my side.
Summoner Yuna!
What is it this time?
Yeah, it was like sped up. Yeah, sped up makes sense. This is like a fancy. This is like a song that all the cultures in this world seem to sing. In game, it only plays when they're in the temple. Yeah, you can hear it in the background there. I wonder if it's a made-up gobbledygook or if it's like Latin. Called Hymn of the Faith. Oh, that's Japanese. Oops. I don't know why they didn't choose to pick Latin. Oh, what are these little guys? Vulnerable to fire. Grat. Retaliates with self-destructive for receiving damage 3 times. Okay. Lulu.
Let's end this.
It was only 2001. Maybe Latin wasn't popular yet. You're right. Nobody was obsessed with the Roman Empire at that point. Nobody had even heard of it. I guess I don't have to keep leveling Kimahri up. Good evasion. Nice. Then... now just this evil Gengar by way of H.R. Geiger to deal with. Oh. Well, the other guy's still alive too. Healed by fire. Okay, that's no good. Let's do Auron. Smack him. Nice. Perhaps he's weak to water then? Oh, I guess not water, it'd be blizzard. Oh no, that was not enough damage. Yeah, he's gonna self-destruct. Maybe Waka can survive this blast. As long as one of them does. Oh, okay. It only self-destructs on one person. That's not how it worked in Final Fantasy VII. He was a lot more brutal. He'd nearly kill your whole team. I want Titty in there. I want Auron. I want Lulu. Cool. I'd love to have the same encounter again. I'm still convinced there must be some kind of reason as to why Titus can cast haste and slow magic very early. Maybe he's some sort of time wizard and he doesn't know it. Oh, that was barely any damage, really. Sports ball captain? Duh. Cristiano Ronaldo famously is also capable of doing this. Should see the way he would play for Real Madrid. When he wasn't flopping, it was all Chronergy. That joke would have killed in soccer circles. I guess soccer and, I don't know, D&D circles? They don't really overlap much, though. Yeah, I only know the biter. Luis Suarez. I will always remember the name. What a maniac. Oh, I have been keeping tabs of my favorite country for this game. Or I guess for the next year's World Cup. We are not doing hot. It's embarrassing to watch. It's gotten to the point where I remember growing up, my mom would get annoyed with her younger brother because her younger brother would start being very pessimistic about our chances very early into the process. But I get it now. I'm that guy now. I'd just prefer to stop watching us lose and tie everything. I don't know. Summon the dragon. Angels have an unfair advantage in soccer, I imagine. What do they do about your wings? Well, you gotta imagine that it's 11v11 and we're all angels. So it really just makes the soccer all that more dynamic. A lot of aerial kicks and backflips. We're not allowed to touch the ball with our wings, though. And it's sort of like Smash Bros, where you only get a single flap of the wing. If you double flap, you're not allowed to interact with the play. A lot of rules about it. But it also makes it so much more interesting to watch. Most of the game is conducted around Mach 1 or 2. So the game ends pretty quickly. You gotta think it's like trying to enjoy, I don't know, a fighter jet fight. But you're sitting down. Twilight Vampire Baseball. Yeah, it's like that. Keeping your eye on the ball is their first step as a fan. A lot of Red Bull sponsorships, as you can imagine. Still the same sort of advertising campaign, funny enough. It's just about it giving you an extra set of wings instead. Red Bull gives you more wings. Which isn't true, of course, but that doesn't stop anyone. That's a neat little animation. For getting electrocuted. Is the ball still mostly white? Well, like human soccer, you still have lots of different colors. But classically, the ball is white and black, yes. And like in human soccer, the goalie has the hardest time as well. I mean, imagine catching a ball at that speed. Pretty cruel traditions around own goals, too. Far crueler than what you humans can come up with. Just don't fuck up. I don't know. Shiva, I guess. I probably shouldn't have done Shiva. They have like a weakness to fire here. I summon Elsa to sing to you, Omega Ball. Yo, we should do a stream where we just watch Omega Ball. That would be awesome. They should add a mode to like, what's it called, to FIFA. They should add a mode to FIFA where it's just Omega Ball. Wouldn't that be cool? We only watched like 90% of the available matches online. Surely they've come out with more, no? FIFA 26. Omega Ball, please. They gotta add it to Rocket League, too. Wow. That's a game I haven't thought about in a while, but... that was one that I didn't know like it, like Overwatch, but I definitely took it seriously like Overwatch. My little brother was super good at it. He would use the very controller I'm holding right now. And he'd hold it, he'd hold it. Have you ever heard of Claw? Okay, we're gonna take a detour here. We're gonna go to WikiHow. Okay, wait, let's try to do this somewhat professionally. Yep. Whoa. Oh, that's not what I want. Get out of here. Okay, this is what I want. Yep. Here you go. Oh, I don't want that either. Okay, well, I'll just download a picture of this instead of making you wait for me to set up a incognito tab. Let's get rid of this. Put this on. People like Mario must be so fast at doing this. Or maybe they just have a bunch of extra sources that they just change the image of. That's not it. That and a hockey. That'll do it, yeah. Bam. This is a claw grip. It doesn't look that nuts, but when you really look at it and try to do it yourself, you realize how unbelievably inhuman it is. But the whole advantage of the claw grip is the idea that, like... oh, no. That's bad. You won't be able to see my pointer, but that's okay. The whole advantage of the claw grip is if, for some reason, the moment calls for it, you could then, like, bring your pointer fingers from the face button down to one of the sticks, and that allows you to, like, precision control the stick orientation. for games that are like, you know, first-person shooters or you know, Rocket League or whatever. My little brother would do this for Fortnite as well. That's how he picked it up to begin with, but then he started applying it to every single game he played. Yeah, practice, I guess, is the only way to do it. But it seems so funny because it's like there are so few games that are best played with a controller. Like, in my opinion, anyway. Like if you're doing this, in my opinion, it's because you're sweaty. Like you're trying to get every percentage out of it, right? You're trying to maximize your control scheme. It's mouse scope, exactly. So it's like, okay, so you're doing this to play Rocket League, I guess, or Fortnite, but why don't you just boot it up on a PC and now your mouse and keyboard are doing all of this inherently so much more easily. So I don't know. This is my rant about the claw. Every time I watched him do it, oh my gosh, he was so serious about it too. He'd get like little grips that you would add to the little nubbins on the sticks, and it would make them like twice as high. But he would swear by them. He was like, it's easier to grip this way with the claw. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna still take it off the controller so I can sit down and play Uncharted like a normal, you know, angel, please. Yeah, that's my rant about the claw. I should probably just, you know, I think it's actually funny to keep just keep adding them to the sources and inevitably have a long list that I just don't remember why I have this. Anyway, Shiva. Hit him with Diamond Dust. Claw grip feels like cheating. That's kind of real. He was better at Rocket League than me, I'll say that much. I think he played more, but I do think that claw grip was giving him an edge. I've never tried Rocket League with a mouse and keyboard. That might actually be a game that's better with a controller. I'm not sure. But I definitely think that the pros are out there using a mouse and keyboard. It's just so much more precision. These guys are annoying, yo. I don't feel like hurting them because, like, Riku is here and can one-shot them. So it just becomes a game of protect Riku, haste Riku, steal their stuff, they explode. Let's use her thingy. I'm gonna use Claw Grip right now to maximize my... Oh no. I only got 3. I guess Claw Grip doesn't work. The Claw Grip wasn't invented in 2001. They didn't consider it for this game. I would love to come across a town soon. It feels like I haven't gotten to just, like, talk to a guy and buy stuff. Bashura. Be careful if it puts up its dukes. You bet. Oops. Heal Lulu, I guess. Oh, what? I still had the tab open for for the Claw Grip. This is a website called Esports Healthcare. Unbelievable that something like this could exist in the first place. This is a website that's all about healthcare related to esports. And this is an article all about the dangers of using the Claw Grip. And like how it's like overly tensioning your hand and fatigue and stuff. Wow. Oh my gosh. I want to take screenshots from this article and just send this to Sebastian. I remember he would complain about his hands hurting too, but he was just too much of a gamer. I'm gonna mix a grenade and a grenade. Let's see what that does. It's gonna injure all of us? It'll be fine. Huh. That could have been cooler, I guess. I wouldn't have expected a grenade and a grenade to do that. Imagine you get into sports medicine, but the sports medicine is for esports. It's like, hello, today we will be talking about healthy practices on your Twitter. How not to get canceled. Mental health. Your first mistake was opening Twitter to begin with. Oh, it's combined psych and physical. It has to be. Hit him with the hellfire. If anything, for those folks, it feels like the psych aspect might be more important. You're dealing with a group of people whose primary profession doesn't really require them to leave their homes. Damn, a clean 9,999 across the board. Except the other guy has more than that much health, so... I was told to be wary, and he has his dukes up, so... We're just gonna shield. Until he puts his dukes down. Okay. Now we strike. Psych up. That's a Pokemon move, isn't it? Maybe I'm thinking of bulk up. Be gone. Good job, my Pokemons. I am unironically so ready to be done with this game. It feels like this last back half has been kind of a slog. Too many similar random encounters. I'm doing a shrimp check right now. Just keeping my spine limber. Damn, Titus isn't your baby girl yet? I liked him. I just want to know what happens to them more than anything. That's what's motivating me. And I like his card. The Magic the Gathering card for Titus. Zooey Mama. We should play together sometime. You'll see it. It's baller. It draws cards. Which is good. But no, he's not my baby girl. And Sephiroth isn't here. And I doubt he'll show up at the end. But if he does, then maybe I'll be excited. I love you, Bahamut. That's a guy with good posture. You know what else I want to do? I want to watch Soul Eater. I think I've been mentioning it too often recently, and I think it's time to start my once every 6-year journey of trying to start it over again from the beginning and see if I can get past Excalibur. Soul Eater. Yeah, Pyro showed me a dating app profile. I think yesterday, and he was trying to get me to focus on like the alt girl of it all, I guess. But I don't know. That's just not. He only ever sends me a girl he thinks looks like that, so it starts to be like a given, and I just try to look for anything unique outside of that, if that makes sense. So instead, I noticed that she had her phone facing the camera in one of the pictures, and you can see her phone like lock screen background, and it was Mako and Soul. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was just talking about those two being kind of like adorable couple goals with another friend. And so that's what I text him about. I'm like, that's Mako. That's Mako and Soul. And he goes, yeah, I guess. But it's an all-girl, isn't it? And I'm like, sure, dude. You're missing the point. You can be my Sherpa. Guide me. Guide me past Excalibur's annoying little body. I would say that this would be my first, like, watch through as a full-fledged adult, at least. I don't think I've tried watching it in probably at least 10 years, despite my joke. Whoa. It's my job to go, we're just skipping the Excalibur episodes, fuck it. You know, high key, I have my PC. You know where my PC is. It's right next to my couch, sort of. But I can't sit from my couch and use my PC. And if I want to sit down and watch something, I prefer to sit down and watch something on my TV. If I'm on my couch, if I'm on my, I mean, I misspoke. I prefer to watch something from my couch on my TV and not my PC. So all this like stuff that you kind of have to find online or I don't know, pirate, that I end up falling off because I'm like, I gotta sit on that terrible PC chair. I just want to sit on my couch. A Soul Eater, that's on Crunchyroll. And I have a friend who's given me their Crunchyroll. So we can make it happen. Oh, Nidhogg. A Bandersnatch. Hard scales for piercing weapons. Okay, give me Waka. Yeah, there's a lot of power in fuck it, we'll do it 98% of the way. It really gets a lot more things done that way, I think. And they're never done 100% perfect, but who cares? Perfect's not real. You miss Medusa. Dude, Medusa, that makes a lot of sense. She would be right up your alley, wouldn't she? She was awesome. I'm just curious to see how it ends, more than anything. You realize at some point, who gives a shit about doing what you hate? Just ignore Excalibur. So true. Wrong monster. I hope that doesn't fuck everything up for me. Spirit and Stein, though, too? That's some premium shit. So, I remember Stein. He was scary and strange, but I don't remember Spirit. Who's Spirit? Was that the demon guy that, like, hung out in Soul's soul? His name is Spirit? Maka's dad is named Spirit? He was a dumbass, but man, did I love watching that guy. This is getting ludicrous. You saw that, right? I think I went through my walk cycles like twice, and then we got to the next attack. Or the next encounter. We smoking that good old man yaoi. You don't get it. You just don't get that often anymore, do you? Not like that. They don't make them like they used to. I remember he's so divorced. Yeah, he's like the most divorced ever. He's sopping wet in front of literally everyone he talks to. And he even goes to that like hostess club too. It's crazy. I remember as a kid being so confused, like what is he doing? What are these women here for? What is this place he's in? Oh, he's resistant to magic. I should have read and comprehended that. What was that guy's name too? Death? Was it just Death? They're like headmaster? my like crazy old wizard voice is based on him. Or I guess it's not based on him, but it has a lot of him in it. He's sort of goofy, and up here, kind of. Shinigami. I like the idea of him, like, you know, Calliope Mori? And she's not Death. She's like the apprentice reaper of Death, or whatever. I like the idea of him being the person she's apprenticing to, because he's so funny. Yeah, isn't that funny? I should draw them together. He's got a funny little body too. He's all angles. He looks like a lightning bolt with the mask and the big hands. Kind of like Dusclops? He looked like Dusclops. Bro, quit bullying Ixion. Give him the last you got, horseman. Unicorn boy. I want to go see what creature type they gave him in Magic the Gathering. He is a Saga and a Unicorn. Okay. You done good, kid. Did you watch it in the dub or the sub when you watched it? Because I watched the sub. I mean, the dub. I thought the dub was really good. Don't make me shamefully answer that. Okay. You can hold your dignity. We'll just all wonder which you thought was shameful. I hate reading dubs over subs. I feel that. I think I have very few anime where I'm willing to go out of my way to listen to the sub. And so far, in my experience, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, sub all the way until the last 2 seasons. Like the Netflix seasons, the dub has been pretty good. And I feel like they haven't been doing as much of the over-the-top aura screaming stuff, which is normally what makes the dub kind of silly. So that one's watchable, that one's doable as a sub. But otherwise, I do prefer the dubs over subs generally too. And yeah, it is a quality dub. Everybody's doing a good job. I remember thinking that despite how ridiculous she was, I did quite like that cat lady. What was her name? Black Cat. Surely she had like a more real name than that. Blair. Blair! Oh my gosh, Blair. That was her name. Talk about ripping off the Band-Aid when your like middle school friend is like, hey, there's this cool thing named anime. Have you ever heard of it? No, we should watch it right now. And then you watch it and you're like, what is happening to Blair? And you're literally like 12. So like, yeah, like you're only just beginning, your body is only just beginning to understand what is in front of you. You were scandalized? I thought it was weird, but I couldn't describe why. I don't even think I really had the language to explain why that was so strange. It's old as fuck, so it probably features some dub royalty. What does that mean? Oh, yeah, it probably does have, like, some classy folks there. You got a good point. Royalty is a good word for them. Con folk. I also just really remember liking the idea of transforming into a weapon. Like, I didn't want to do that, but I thought the idea of somebody doing that was cool. We're so broke. We have no items. Yeah, the Weaponmeister thing was really cool. Wait, oh. Laura Bailey of Crit Roll fame now. Whoa. I wonder who she played. The Weaponmeister thing was very cool. You'd want to be a Meister. Yes, I would. I would not want to be a weapon. I think you're putting a lot of trust in whoever the Meister is. Which I suppose is the whole thing, at the end of the day. You're putting trust into each other. You know, the other thing I liked about them was there is something like in the Mega Man Battle Network series, you probably saw it some when we watched the show, but Lan and Mega Man can do like this. Oh, relax. They can do this like full synchronization thing, right? Because they were twin brothers. No, I guess they weren't twins, but they were brothers, so they could do this like twin synchronization thing. And that always reminded me of, or I suppose it's the other way around. All of the Maester and weapon like soul link thing, it reminded me of Mega Man. Of Megan Man. The Mega Man Battle Network manga was also baller. Holy cow. Yes. Give me Waterga. Oh. And then give me whatever is here. Thundaga. Nice. Lulu grows ever stronger. Would you want to be a Meister or a weapon? I don't know. I'm not sure if I have yet met someone who I would completely trust to wield me to my full capacity. I'd be doing what Soul does through most of that show and just bitching. I don't know what kind of weapon I would be, though. I'd probably be something cumbersome, too. I'd want to be, like, a deck of cards. They both seem pretty cool, hard to say. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, tell me you're selling something.
Greetings, Lady Yuna. My name is Wants.
Wants?
We have met several times
What do you
before,
want?
right?
Not running today?
I have to carry on my brother's business. You've met him, I think. Owaka the 23rd, merchant extraordinaire.
Wait, you're that guy's brother?
Oh. I'm almost certain this is Tom Kenny. It is, yep.
But the temple imprisoned him for helping traitors.
They
Why is
imprisoned
he
him
British?
because of us?
He doesn't regret it, though. In fact, he told me before they took him.
Well, I guess
"Don't
maybe
worry
is
about
Rin?
me, just go help Lady Yuna."
Maybe Rin is British? I don't remember if he is or not. But he's also Tom Kenny.
Well, hey, this isn't the time for talking. There's dealing to be done. Welcome to Owaka's.
Okay, well. I'm glad he's here. I was just complaining about not having enough things to buy. Audibly sighed and shook my head at the cards comment, by the way. Finch classic. You can wield me if you want, but I'm making this a Luxord situation. It's gonna suck for both of us. And if you're not ready for that, then you're not ready for me. If I had to wield something, I think a deck of cards would be cool. I don't know. Dual swords are cool too. I used to think martial weapons were a lot cooler than I do now. And now I think
To keep your brother in my prayers.
I think magic is cooler than martial weapons.
Same for you, Lady Yuna.
Thanks.
Or magic weapons. Like summoning weapons. Like packed blades, that sort of thing. Goodness gracious. You know, there was a home stretch like this in Final Fantasy VII too. But you knew you were about to face... What's his name? Sephiroth, so
A storm
it wasn't that
comes.
much of a surprise. Really? That was nothing. You've always been a ranged weapon freak. Yeah, that's true. You do really like bows and such.
This is for the fallen.
This is for the fallen. Yep. Ooh. A tenth of a second to spare. Did it not send him away? That's annoying. But this guy. Oh, good. Maybe a sniper rifle? That's very you. Crossbow feels impersonal for some reason, so I wouldn't expect that. What about Waterga?
Let's see you under pressure.
Oh, that's a fun line. Still depressingly unimpressive. Good. Crossbow is more impersonal than a sniper rifle? Yeah, I think so. I don't know why. It's more impersonal than a bow, that's for sure. I think it's because it doesn't. Most of them don't have a scope, and like you kind of have to like hug a sniper rifle. Like you're getting intimate with a sniper rifle, but you're not really doing that with a crossbow very often, at least as depicted. Oh no. Oh well. Sorry, Auron. To me, arrow or bolt-based weapons are just more brutal. The whole ass object you're leaving in there. Oh my gosh. You're making me want to play TF2. Because true, it is brutal. Well, you could say that that makes it... I don't know if that actually makes it more personal. It might just be more brutal. Good job, Auron. That's more like it. Maybe those fireball guys are just resistant to magic. Bring back the goth lady. I like that personal angle. Weirdly sweet. It reminds me of a Miku song. Miku's out here singing about killing people? My Miku only sings about fried rice and hopes and dreams. Okay, this way. Please. Enough encounters. Stop bullying Oron. Assassin Princess from Michium. Just a J-pop upbeat. You'd probably like it enough. Uses the phrase 300mm breakup to describe a sniper rifle. Or 300-meter breakup. That makes sense. That's wicked. Get it. You know what I want to do with my free time tomorrow? I want to like read through the Final Fantasy commanders and just figure out which ones I would build. Because the answer is probably not many of them, but I don't know. I just like to figure out which ones I'm definitely not going to use for anything, I guess. I probably asked you this, but how did you get into Vocaloid? I remember the same person that introduced me to Soul Eater liked Hatsune Miku a little bit, but I didn't really know. I don't think anyone in my school was like the Miku person. But I was like vaguely aware of them. I mean, she's just everywhere. There's so much fan art. So much fandom. Enough. Yeah, okay. More encounters like this, please. I don't mind one-turn encounters. Those are pretty fun. They make me feel powerful. No. This one can't be a one-turn one, because freaking Riku can't do that. YouTube surfing as a kid, but the Tekken sorceled you. Yeah, that's so real. I think that's a big part of VTubing for me. It was just a bunch of web surfing, and then I read about the tech, and it's so neat. Getting to play with this model's, like, reaction to my face and stuff was pretty fun. Whoa, relax.
The mountain itself.
There's something so 80s in the victory music. Yeah, I think it's the synths. Like, they're just... This is weird to describe them this way, but they're unbelievable. Like... not because they're good, I just don't believe them. It also sounds like Pokemon Emerald to me during the combat music here. Maybe because of the horn of it all. I'm not gonna lie, I think part of me... So, a big part of the reason that I played this game was because my dad would get, like, free games. When we were growing up, he'd get free games from his coworkers and some work folks, too. And so a lot of the games we played, it wasn't because we wanted to play them, but just because he got them. And one of those games was Kingdom Hearts 2, which was like, you know, I mean, formative, let's say, for me and my little brother. And one of them was actually also Final Fantasy X for the PS2. But my dad returned it because he didn't really like it. All the reading, I suppose. But I still remember vividly the first 45 minutes when you're in Zanarkand, and like the city just has some, like the water effects were gorgeous. And the city is so special. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest, that we didn't get to spend more time in Zanarkand. I was really hoping it would be a bigger part of it. Admittedly, Zanarkand is still a really important part of the story. It's just, I would have liked it to be part of the game too. You are out of magic. Huff some ether. Whoops. I'm gonna hit Auron, get some sense into that boy. It missed. Hit him again. Bro. Now I think if I knock sense into him, he'll die. Oh. Lulu. Oh, the animation of him whacking himself in the head with that sword was incredible. Come back, you idiot. Here we go. Just get to Auron already. Hit him!
Farewell.
Next time, I guess I'll actually use an item to heal
No time to waste.
his confusion instead of wasting all my time. Okay, keep marching onwards. Oh, sweet merciful. A save point.
Yuna, can you fight?
Yes, I think so.
Summon the dragon. Send in the lizard. Okay. Impulse. More impulse. I'm probably going to go out on another walk when the stream is done, and then I get to finish my schedule. I've been working on a schedule for next week. I finished the background. It's scuffed, but it's fine. And I've been putting together a bunch of objects for, like, actually writing the schedule out. I've been putting it together on Google Slides. I don't have fan art of me, so I've dubious. I've placed a full art of a Magic the Gathering card dubiously legally, but I did put an art credit. I don't know. So here's my call out post to everyone who would like to make fan art of this this little creature, this little angel creature. Put down your dukes, John. I don't know anyone that can draw. Everyone you know has no fingers, broken hands, a grip strength too powerful to grip a pen or a pencil. It's so tragic. Okay, well, I'm gonna go double check my schedule because I think I said I'd only play until. Sit down, himbo. I think I said I'd only play till maybe 9:30, but if I committed to 10, I'll keep playing till 10. Let's see what the channel says. Oh. Look at this cute little angel VTuber. Somebody should watch him. That's not what I want to see. I want to see the schedule. Oh, I guess I could just open up my own Twitter too. Here I am, wasting precious minutes. Should I have said till 10? I said till 9:30. I also said we'd be going ghost hunting. I sort of thought we'd be killing Meister Seymour by now, but we have not. Yeah, I think I'm good to call it. I want to go on a walk. And we'll play some Mega Man early tomorrow, so I gotta go to sleep. So I can have plenty of Battle Network energy. Okay, so, let's find somebody to raid into. Isn't that fun? Let's see if we can raid into one of my favorite creators again. Oh, thank you for watching, Wormy. It was fun to chat with you. And everybody else, thanks for hanging out too. Let's see. Who shall we raid? There are a handful of others playing Final Fantasy X. There's like a cat PNG tuber doing Final Fantasy X. A 3D Fox VTuber. Another PNG tuber. Seymour stinks or on rocks. Here's a VTuber. She's got a cute model too. Let's stream into her. She actually started playing before I did. And I'm finishing before her too. That's funny. Alrighty, well, I'll set up the raid. Thank you for hanging out. Have a good rest of your day, your evening, whatever you may have. Make sure to make the most of your time because heaven waits for you.
Say